Massachusetts. And on right wing, Austin Pick, senior 5'8", out of Troutville, Oregon. He's got 15 points on the season and is one of the leaders in the NE10 in scoring. Head coach in year one is Connor Foley. For the Eagles, Ben Cunin in goal, 2-4-1 on the season. 2 shutouts, .936 save percentage, and an astounding 1.99 goals against average. His defensive combination is Aiden Kennedy, sophomore out of Schaumburg, Illinois, and James Hope, a freshman out of Napierville, Illinois, the Illinois connection. On left wing, Scotty Swain, sophomore out of Baltimore, Minnesota, Joe Santoro, senior out of Wolcott, Connecticut, and A.J. Gazzardi, freshman out of Berlin, Connecticut. Head coach in season number 4 is Tim Richter. And now we will get ready for the presenting of the national anthem here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Our national anthem here at the Sports Center of Connecticut for a big NE10 conference battle between the Ravens from Franklin Pierce and your Post University Eagles. Eagles 2-5-1 on the season. They are 1-3-1 in conference. Franklin Pierce, as we mentioned, 5-4-0 overall, 4-1 in the NE10. The fall season finale at home for the Eagles here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. They'll play next here on January 6th. But they have 2 road games in Southern New Hampshire this weekend. Franklin Pierce again goes home to take on St. Mike's this weekend to wrap up the fall season. Contrasting styles, Franklin Pierce leads the league in goals scored at over 3 per game. The Eagles 1.75 goals a game. It'll really come down to whether the Eagles can put the puck in the net just a little bit. Ben Cunin does have 2 shutouts on the season, a 1.99 goals against average. But as we mentioned in the open, if the Eagles score 2 goals, they are 2-0-1. If they score less than 2, they are 0-5.
Well, you know that your defenders and your goaltender are going to give you every opportunity to win a game. So forwards and offensive scheme, time to step up and put some in the back of the net.
Wherever you are across the Post University Network, we thank you for joining us. It's hockey time in Connecticut. Puck inside the Raven zone as we start the game tonight here this evening. Centered it in front with a quick pass, looking for Santoro's stick, but a nice stop there by Mostowski for an early shot on goal and save just 16 seconds into period number 1.
And those are the kind of plays that those are the kind of goals that they're going to score, the kind of plays they have to make. Get that to the net. It's got to rattle around there. You got to outnumber in front and bang home some rebounds.
Face off to the right of Mostowski. Santoro and Fish on the draw. Won by Santoro. Didn't do well on the face-off dot on Sunday, but won that one there. But out of the zone comes Franklin Pierce. Up on the left wing, it's Austin Pick, one of the leaders in the NE10 in points with 15. He checks off the defenseman Kennedy and then turned it over. Back to the point, long shot from the point goes high on a headhunter by Doug McGuire, the captain of the Ravens. No Tanner Glassroot tonight. McGuire with another shot. He goes high again over the glove of Kunin. Maybe they're learning something by shooting high on Ben early on. And a backhand toward the net. Stopped by Kunin. Is picked backhanded on. Kicked behind the net. Paganini rims it around the wall. Off the bench comes Ursillo. He's got it in the near side corner. Avoids a hit of Kennedy. Now this line's been out there for a while. McGuire goes D to D. Takes a return pass at center point. Looks in the middle. It's deflected in front to the slot area and then turned over. And Gazzardi dumps it down the ice. No icing, but McGuire will get there first, and Eagles will make their first full line change as a long pass up to Ursillo. He'll dump it behind the net where Wyatt Noble on the ice sends it around the boards. Again, the Eagles without Tanner Glassrood and Owen Rieger, both out due to injury. Expected both will be back. Not sure if Tanner Glassrood will be back this weekend, but both should be back in time for January 3rd in the return to the spring portion of the schedule, or the winter portion of the schedule. That'll be an icing and a face-off inside the Eagle zone with 1:41 gone in the first period. Lots of possession time for Franklin Pierce. Not really any shots on goal, but lots of possession time.
Yeah, again, Post doing what they do really well in the D zone. They compact that area in the house and make it very tough for shots to get through.
I guess it was touch. Line, they're going to drop it at center, which usually indicates that wasn't an icing. So they'll restart at center, and the Eagles won the faceoff by Connor Murray. McQuegan tried to chip it in. Big check off the wall there by McMains. McCowell, and McQuegan. McCowell over the line on left wing, takes a shot, swallowed whole by Rostowski. And another shot on Mestowski, and a save by him will lead a faceoff deep inside the Raven zone. That McMains, McCowell, and McQuegan line is going to be a challenge all night. It's not as fun as Run PMC, I'll say that, though. McCowell.
You're going to have to come up with a name.
They have to play together a little longer. In front the puck goes. It's sticked away by Mestowski. Tisdale tries to get it out, but turned it over, and a walked-in shot by Jonathan Meyer in the lineup. Player out of Sweden, back to the point. Long shot taken with Meyer in front. Not sure if it got there. Mostowski made a save, and then a big hit along the wall. Walked in by O'Connell. O'Connell takes a shot toward the net. That's blocked. McCowell goes back for Montague, and that puck gets sent out to center. So O'Connell and Montague, the defensive pair on this unit, and then a long pass too far, and that'll be an icing.
Right now they're taking turns of just getting zone time in the opponent's side, right? Pierce had that flurry there, and Post just did the same thing.
I'd like to see the Eagles take more slap shots than wrist shots, Coach. They seem to be just floating and looking for tips more so than sort of just trying to blast and maybe get some rebounds. McCowell tries to chip it out. O'Connell in there as well, but good play on along the wall by Ursillo. Giovanni Ursillo, the sophomore out of Boise, Idaho, sends it behind the net. Montague goes behind his net to McCowell, who goes nicely the wide side to Meyer. Meyer tries to get it out. He will be able to carry it out and feed a nice pass to Norling. Norling, one-on-one up on left wing over the line. Has the defender fall down. He takes a shot toward the net, sticked away by Mastowski. Puck out the center. Bandied about and then brought back in over the line by Franklin Pierce, and a shot by Keenan Howard that gets deflected behind the net. Eagles try to play it out, and Kimball will have some speed. If he can catch it, it will not be caught, though. And played by the Franklin Pierce defense with a pass over, looking for Keenan Howard, who's playing up a little bit, even though he's listed as the defenseman. Kennedy inside his own zone, makes a fancy little pass up on left wing to Kimball. Kimball over the line, tries to send a shot, gets blocked, picks it up in the corner, centered it in front, looking for Howell, who's back in the lineup, but it spun off his stick and out to center. Pacheco looking up for McDevitt. He tips it in. He'll go off on a line change. And behind the net, Todd Branish will play it. Branish gives to McGuire. A long pass up on left wing for Paganini. Paganini will dump it in. Wyatt Noble there first to the Eagles. Gets it behind the net. Avoids the hit of Paganini and will carry on. Chip pass out to Santoro, who chips it ahead to himself. Santoro racing ahead. Tries to feed it across. It was sticked in on goal by Scotty Swain, who had a 2-point weekend down in Arcadia as well. I mean, the Eagles only scored 2 goals, and he had 2 points on them. So credit to Scotty for a good weekend.
Yeah, and that's that rush that they just got up the ice. That's technically just great hockey. They're moving pucks and moving their feet, and then trying to get pucks through to the net and purposeful action. So right now it's not a bad looking period at all for Post.
Santoro and Levan on the faceoff. Puck came out of the zone off the faceoff win. Swain trying to chip it back into the Raven zone, ends up back to center where Pacheco will have it. Pacheco trying to get to the red line, makes a fancy little move, looking ahead for Noble, but turned it over. And back the other way come the Ravens. Blanchette feeds it to Mitchell. Mitchell goes around the net, looks to center in front. He did, but the only one there for the Eagles was Gazzardi, and he'll clear and send it out to center. Swain had to go off his stick, and right back the other way comes the Ravens. Pacheco laid a little bit of a hit on Mitchell, held up, probably a good play to avoid the penalty. And it's chipped back into the Raven zone, and they'll tag up and go for a line change. 5 minutes gone in period one. No score as both teams feeling each other out. Pacheco, long pass ahead looking for McMains. McMains ended up with it for a second before it was stolen away and kicked back out to center. O'Connell behind his net, watched by Drew White. White went left, O'Connell went right. Long pass to McMains. McMains gives it up to Montague, up on right wing, over the line, top of the circle, takes a shot toward the net, sticked away by Mastowski. Puck goes behind the net, fought for by Murray. Murray tries to spindle it to the far corner. He gets it to McMains. McMains fakes the pass back to the point, waits for McQuegan to help out. They forecheck, then sends a shot toward the net, sticked away by Mastowski into the near side crowd. 5:34 gone in the first. Teams feeling each other out now a little bit more.
Yeah, both teams a little bit loose in the neutral zone too. There's not much counter, not much transition by either team in the neutral zone right now.
McCowell and Sterling on the draw to the left of Mastowski. Won by Sterling. Puck ripped up the wall right into the body of the Eagles and kept in. McCowell, far corner, goes back to the point to Hope. Hope sends a shot toward the net, gets a deflection right on. Mastowski made the save. Norling gives it to McCowell, takes a return pass in that far side corner, and then a turnover, and Chris Foster comes away with it. Gives it up on left wing to Ursillo. Turned it over as he tried to go from left to right, but the Ravens regain the puck inside their own zone. Branish gives it up the middle to Sterling. Sterling with some speed in over the line, chopped away, but it goes back to the fence, and the shot taken through the slot, looking for the stick of Ursillo. He fell down, and the puck went into the corner. Now here comes Howell with a long shot from center. Mastowski can't control it, but back to help out was Doug McGuire. McGuire sends it back to center, goes off of Hope's stick, and back the other way comes Ursillo until he turns it over. McDevitt takes a feed from Howell, now chased in the zone by Kimball. Kimball spins with it, looks for a pass in front to Howell, instead kept it, and then turned it over. Foster gives up to the streaking Fish, but then Fish turned it over. And now Noble behind his own net, waited too long, turned it over, came out the other side with a backhand shot taken by Paganini after he stole the puck. Good save by Kunin. Noble checked in the corner by Fish. Ravens turn it over, and the puck finally sent out to center. Kunin, his best save of the first period there on a steal by Paganini, and he came out the far side, had room, went for the backhand, but shot it right into Kunin's chest. Ravens tried to clear it out, but sent it right off the body of Scotty Swain, so still in the zone as Tisdale tries to get it out the center. He did, but then turned it over, and Eagle went flying. That was Gazzardi. And now Santoro chasing the puck back into his own zone. Santoro looking for Hope, ends up on the stick of Gazzardi. Gazzardi tries to spin away. Good passing by the Eagles inside their own zone. Gets it to Kennedy, and Kennedy looks out the center, but he turned it over. Stolen by Pick, and then the Eagles take it right back. Eagles can't make those kind of turnovers. Now a long pass ahead to Scotty Swain, but he had no legs. Ended up with the puck somehow and took a high shot that just went wide. End of the shift for Scotty Swain. He was 1-on-2. Somehow managed to get through the two and take a shot that went wide. Ravens back in the other way, turn the puck over. Eagles get it out to center, and Blanchette will play it back in. Kunin leaves it for O'Connell. O'Connell gives it to Montague. Montague sends it up the left wing and just out to center. McQuegan avoids a referee, keeps going in it. Now one-on-one, takes a wrist shot right on rebound. Way there! Good opportunity now, backhand in front. As McMains cruised down the slot and found a loose puck, he took a shot stopped by Mastowski. Eagles again, top of the center point. Meyer closes it in, takes a second shot, he scores! Jonathan Meyer found a loose puck on a nice pass. Cruised in, didn't just take it from 40 feet out, cruised in to about 20 feet out and ripped the shot over Mestowski. And at 8:44, the Eagles take a 1-0 lead on Meyer's first of the year.
And that's just the kind of play that we were talking about. That play came from inside the dots, inside the hash marks, right tight inside the house. And passes, puck movement, moving your feet, all those things created the opportunity, and a really nice snipe.
And taking a little extra time, Meyer as well. Didn't just shoot it from 40 feet out. He cruised in, used the space that he had, got a better angle.
Yeah, well
beat
honestly,
Mestowski.
Right, honestly, good players in terms of taking your shot as well as attacking. Skate to where the open ice is. Skate to where the open ice is. Don't try to beat somebody one-on-one through their feet. Skate to where the open ice is.
So the Eagles take a 1-0 lead at 8:44. Puck sent down behind the net, Norling. D to D. Shot taken toward the net, blocked. So for Meyer, his first of the year, I think his first since that overtime winner he had right before he left for Italy last season. But a 1-0 lead for the Eagles in the first period. Again, it's one of those silly stats that so early in the season hold true. If the Eagles score more than one goal, they've gotten points in every one of those games.
Well, they got a good start here, right? We're only halfway through the first.
But I'll give you the flip side of that one, Coach, which is they had 1-0 leads against Alvernia both nights. So, positivity. And then a deflected shot off the body of Pacheco. Ben Cunin ready for it, though.
Yeah, it was a funny bounce right there. But, again, Ben's really good focus. Good focus, good body position. Just sucked that right up.
One nothing Eagles. Right now O'Connell has the lone assist at 8:44. See if we can get you updated. Believe there is a second assist, but we'll see if we can get you updated on that. Cruising in with a shot, and Cunin with a big save. As McGuire went around the Eagle forwards and took a beautiful wrist shot from about 20 feet out, right in the circle. But Cunin held strong.
That's a well-placed shot, too. That's right above the pad, trying to get right above the pad and underneath the blocker, and Ben was up to the task.
9:41 gone in period one, 1-0 Eagles. Murray and Sterling on the draw. Murray will win it. And McQuegan will dump it into the bench, so we'll do that face-off all over again. Just 6 seconds later. Good start for the Eagles, but they had good starts against Alvernia over the weekend. Need to continue the momentum. But a couple of big saves by Ben Cunin, one right before the goal, and then that one right after the goal by McGuire. Face-off one again by Murray. Hope goes to McMains. He tries to go to McQuegan a little bit behind him, but he gets to the red line and will dump it in. Murray in there chasing after it. Does a good job to get it over to McMains. McMains, far side corner, goes behind to Murray. Murray tries to come out the side and stuff it by Rastowski. He makes the save and then gives a stick to McQuegan as he was poking at it with 9:57 to go in period number one here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. The fall home finale for the Eagles. They'll play 2 at Southern New Hampshire this weekend, and then will be off until January 6th, where they'll play here as they start the winter season up again. So 9 big points over these 3 games, laying out there for the Eagles and get themselves right back into the NE10 hunt. McCall wins it back nicely to Kennedy. Kennedy makes a good move, gets taken down. That'll draw a penalty, and the Eagles will go to the man advantage as soon as Franklin Pierce touches the puck. But the Eagles do a good job getting it to Meyer in the slot, gives it to Howell, cruises and takes a shot that goes wide. Pekka, near side corner, 6 attackers on right now, and there's the touch by Christensen, and a tripping penalty will go to Austin Pick at 10:23, and the Eagles will go to the man advantage. They are 7 for 34 on the season, 20.6%. That's number 2 in the NE10. Franklin Pierce 30 for 36 shorthanded, 83.3%. That's fourth.
Yeah, and right now, Post is playing with a pace that Franklin Pierce is about a half a step behind, so they're starting to take a couple of penalties here.
Santoro, clean win to Kennedy. Goes across to Kimball, down low with a shot. It goes into the net, they score! Scotty Swain came out from behind the net, found a little hole, and it went by Rostowski. And at 10:32, the Eagles 9 seconds into the power play get a goal, and it's 2-0, Coach.
Yeah, the smooth hands of Scotty Swain served him well right there. Found that little spot, just quick, had it on his tape. Really didn't give any indication to the goaltender if he was going to pass or shoot that. And again, that's a goal scorer's goal right there.
And a goal the Eagles needed again now with a 2-0 lead. That can only build some confidence for them as well offensively, Coach. McGuire behind the net, checked off by Pekka. Eagles fighting to keep it in the zone. Center in front to Howell, takes a shot, just goes by Mastowski. Puck goes behind the net, Pekka rims it up the wall. And now out to center. Puck dumped in, O'Connell picks it up in the Eagle zone, goes D to Montague. Montague looking for McDevitt, instead tried to make a fancier pass, turned it over nearly, and then Howell dumped it in, and everybody goes for a line change. Officially, Swain's second of the year from Kennedy and Kimball at 10:32, a power play goal for the Eagles, who have scored once again on the man advantage. Puck cross-dumped into the zone by Blanchette, picked up by Wyatt Noble behind the net. Eagles 2-0 lead here midway through the first period. It's Meyer his first and Swain his second, that one on the power play. McQuegan up on left wing, over the line, looks to center it to Murray, goes off a leg and then behind the net, rimmed around, but kept in by the Eagles in the deep corner. Far side corner, fighting for it is Howard. Howard tries to kick it up the half wall. Finds his own man, and he nearly turned it over. That was Drew White. Then Noble tries to lay a hit, but bounces off, and here comes Fret. Fret leaves it in the slot, but two players collided. That was Perevolodis, and then in front, a big save by Kunin as that puck got centered. It's still laying there in front of the crease. Played by Tisdale. Tisdale tried to go back to the point and sent all the way back in by Fred. So another big save by Kunin, a stick shattered in front of him after Perevolodis made a centering pass and forced Kunin to make another save. So Ben with three big saves here in the first period already. But the Eagles have a 2-0 lead. And that might not be icing because McMains is going to win the race. McMains gets to it in the zone on a long pass. Tried to center it out the front to Swain. Swain goes from near to far. Behind the net. Looked to center it out in front to Santoro. Turned it over and the puck pops up to center where Hope will play it. Hope gloved it down, hadn't had his stick held, couldn't get to the puck, and then the puck is dumped in, and is this going to be a penalty? Is that going to be on the Eagles, or is that going to be, looks like it's going to go on Hope.
27 White hook, I think he called.
Well, problem with that call is he might have hooked, but he also had his stick held, otherwise he would have been able to play it beforehand. So you sort of want to take both, you should have taken both in that case, but either way, Franklin Pierce power play as Hope goes 2 for hooking at 12:55. Franklin Pierce 12 for 49 on the man advantage, 24.5%. That's first in the NE10. Post 24 for 26 on the penalty kill, 92.3%. That is first in the NE10. So something's got to give. First power play and first penalty kill going against each other. McGuire comes over here to pick. Top of the right point. Watched by Pekka. Goes to McGuire. Turns it over as McCowell came out and used his stick. And then McCowell takes it away. McCowell looking for it, sends it toward the net high and wide. But good play by Connor McCowell to force the turnover at the point, slapping it away from McGuire and killing easily 30 seconds. Franklin Pierce will try again as they bring it out to center. Long pass, finds somebody in the middle of the ice, picked it up, takes a shot, big save by Kunin. Rebound laying there. Franklin Pierce looking for it. Another big save by Kunin. Pick tries to go around the net. He does, gets it back to McGuire at the point. McGuire struggling to find the puck, and then a whistle is blown because the net is slightly off the mooring. But Paganini took a long pass came in on Kunin, and Ben made a humongous save. Then the puck was laying about 10 feet out, picked up by Pick, who went for a backhand, and Kunin got back into his crease and made another great save with 1:12 remaining on the man advantage and 6:17 to go in period one. Pekka and Sterling now to the right of Kunin, one by Pekka. Kennedy tried to chip it up the wall, gloved down by Branish. He'll send it into the netting. And another face-off to Kunin's right.
Yeah, Ben lobbying for a draw outside, but I don't think he's going to get it.
He got the post off his mooring, so he should take that one as a win. Howell and Sterling now to Kunin's right. One by Howell. O'Connell in the corner fighting off two Ravens, but then they take it back. Frett goes to Branish. He takes a return pass. Now center point is Branish. Branish comes over here looking for Pavlotis. Gives it down low to Foster, who made a bad pass and kicked it out to center, doing the job of the Eagles by clearing the puck. Here's Pavlotis, sends it down around the boards, played by Frett. He'll go behind his net to Foster. Foster taken down by Noble, no call. And now back to Branish. Branish brings it over here to Pavlotis, who turns it over. But the Ravens keep it in the zone. Noble trying to chip it out, takes a bad bounce, sends it back to the near side corner. Now Foster looking to get it back to the point, but Eagles fighting for it. Foster has it again, checked off this time by Howell. 15 seconds remaining on the man advantage, 5 minutes to go in the first period. Puck comes out this side. An interesting pass by Frett goes through the slot. But back the other way comes Branish. Branish is the power play about to expire. Frett looks for Branish, goes off his stick. The Eagles have killed it off, and Franklin Pierce is 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Gazzardi brings it over here to McQuegan, who had more space. Said he took a shot that popped up in the air off the blocker of Mastowski. Played in by Pacheco. Back to Swain. Swain cruising in with a shot that goes high. Not sure if that got deflected or Mastowski got a body part on it. But into the netting it went. That was a good look there, Coach, with 4:46 to go in the first.
Yeah, and Post did a great job on that penalty kill. Really frustrating Franklin Pierce because you could see them just instead of taking what the penalty killers give you, they were trying to force pucks through to create plays that weren't there, and you saw the passes more than once disconnect and also go out of the zone too. So really good job by them. And again, your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender, and in that flurry there, Ben was more than up to the task.
Hope takes a shot toward the net that deflects off Santoro, who won a clean face-off. Puck sent back out the center, and the Eagles will try again. Hope inside his own zone, gets off the stick of Swain. Will dump it in. Santoro will chase after it. Liam Crowley not on the ice for Franklin Pierce. Turns it over to Kennedy. Kennedy, long shot toward the net. Bounces high up in the air and behind the net. Over here for Gazzardi in the near side corner. Looks to spin off the check of two Ravens. Scotty Swain in there to help out, but taken away by Mitchell. Mitchell tries to rip it up the half wall, trying to get it out of the zone, but the Eagles doing a good job of forechecking and keeping that puck in, and they'll try again. Here's Crowley. Crowley fed a pass, got it out the center, taken by Mitchell. He'll dump it in. The Ravens will go off on a line change after a hard-working defensive shift. And here comes Aiden Kennedy. Kennedy makes a move around one, makes a move around two. He's at center, then dumps it in as he'll go off on a line change. McMains will chase in after it, looking to get the better of Tisdale. But Tisdale makes a nice pass up the pick, and out comes Franklin Pierce over the line with Fish. Fish, the pick, looks to center, and it goes off a stick of an Eagle defender and out the center. Christensen sends it back in behind Kunin with 3:25 to go in the first period. 2-0 Eagles. McQuegan turns it over at the line. Paganini with a shot toward the net that deflects wide. Picked it up behind the net. He'll center it out in front. Ben has his stick out there. Then Pick comes out again, and he scores. What a backhand by Austin Pick. And at 16:48, he gets his fourth of the season. And that was a heck of a backhand to make it 2-1.
Yeah, that was a great. There was no question. That was a great shot. Again, Austin picked. Austin's a really good player. Used his skill right there on that backhand, which is a tough shot for a goaltender to make a save on, and a really tough play by him. But he walked right out and put it where he wanted to put it.
That whole sequence, though, led by an Eagle turnover, and we were talking about that early on. You can't give an offensive team like Franklin Pierce those kind of possessions Ben can't stop everything and didn't have an opportunity on that one. A great backhand by Austin Pick, the senior out of Troutdale, Oregon, with his 4th of the year.
Yeah, no, and for sure the defense got caught puck watching there. They pack it in, which is great if the puck's coming from the point, but they all kind of stood there for a second, and Austin took advantage of that.
Cruising in is McGuire with an opportunity, but Noble forechecked at the right second and poked it away from McGuire. Then the Eagles turn it over inside the zone again, but managed to recover as McCall gets it. Goes off the leg of a Ravens player behind the net, behind Cunene, and the Ravens smelling a little bit of blood. Puck centered all the way through. Back to the point. Long shot taken. Cunene makes a glove save on a wrist shot from Branish. And it's like Franklin Pierce suddenly realized that a hockey game was going on. As the last minute or so, they have picked up the pace. The goal officially Pick, his 4th of the season from Tisdale and Paganini at 16:48.
Well, they kind of turned the tables on post those last 2 shifts there with pace, tempo, good connectivity on their passes, and getting scoring opportunities.
Eagles win the face-off as Howell gets it out of the zone. Puck deflects up and Branish takes it, then he turns it over. Here's McDevitt. Slot, long shot, blockered away easily by Mastowski. Kennedy at center, turns it over. Tried for the quick pass to the Ravens. It went off the body of Paravolotis. And the puck turned over back at center again, and here comes White. White dumps it into the near side corner, chased by Fret. Good job by Kennedy to get there, but he fell down, couldn't keep the puck moving forward. Paravolotis in there, sends it around, and McDevitt will take it. McDevitt trying to get it out. He does. He gets to center, gets to the red line, looks for Howell on a chip pass, a little bit too far out of reach, and the Eagles turn it over. But Howell does a good job to keep the puck inside the Ravens zone. 1-on-2 for a moment, allowing the Eagles to change behind the play. And here's Madsey. Madsey gets to the blue line on right wing, dumps it down into the corner. Hope there first. Swain over skates. Madsey sticked it away. Howell picked it up in the near corner, takes a hit for his trouble, his far corner, excuse me. He takes a hit for his trouble. Can't get it out. Eagles fighting still on that wall. Montague, 5 players in there. Howell gets it, chips it out the center. And the Ravens will regroup inside their own zone. Madsey up the wall for Howard. Howard being watched, though, by Santoro. Guzzardi in there as well. They get it out the center, but then turn it over. Here's O'Connell. Sends it right back in with a minute to go in the first. Howard rims it around. Swain over there on the far side, fighting off 2 Ravens as well, as the Ravens have picked up their forecheck, and the puck sent to center. Pacheco off a leg, goes right to O'Connell. O'Connell goes across the ice with a nice pass to Santoro. One times a shot as he stepped into one, but Mastowski outside of his crease to cut off the angle with 40.4 to go. And that's one of those heavy shots I was talking about as Santoro walked in.
Yeah, I mean, it creates a nice rebound, and, maybe if the puck bounces out another foot or somebody's a half a step quicker, there's a rebound right there.
Stay with us in the first intermission. We'll go around the post-university sports scene here on the Post-University Sports Network. That's Murray in the draw with Nick Fish. To the left of Mastowski. Murray tried to go forward with it, a la Nico Grolman, but did not manage to get the puck. McMains plays it in, chops it into the near corner, gives a hit, takes a hit for his efforts as he laid out Nick Fish. Puck on the half wall, taken by Franklin Pierce. Out the center comes Pick. Pick over the line. He's a nice pass. Closing in McGuire. Big save by Ben Cunene. As you can see, the offensive talent on Austin Pick, who's got 52 career points and 23 career goals. 10 seconds remaining in the first period. Puck deep inside the Raven zone, but they get it out the center, turned it over at center, and that'll end period number 1 here at the Sports Center of Connecticut.
Yeah, and what you saw there too, Jeff, right at the end there with Austin Pick, well, what we were talking about, he came in one-on-one and he skated to open ice, which gave the scoring opportunity a chance.
It's going to be something the Eagles are going to have to keep their eyes on as this game comes on. He's had 3 or 4 opportunities, or generated 3 or 4 opportunities, including the goal that made this game 2-1. Eagles have a 2-1 lead right now, but they're going to have to pay attention to that, to Pick in particular.
Right. Well, I mean, it comes down to, the old adage, right? You got to play a full 60 minutes, right? And that one goal that they did allow was a great shot. There's no taking that away. But again, packed it in a little bit, but we're puck watching. He was allowed to get that puck below the goal line and walk it back to the front of the net.
So, Eagles with a 2-1 lead after one period. We'll come back in 2 minutes with our look around the post-university sports scene here on the NE10, well, not on the NE10, the NE10 conference, should I say, which is the CACC network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles, otherwise known as the Post University Network. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. I'm Jeff Nelson. The Eagles lead the Ravens 2-1 on goals by Jonathan Meyer, and on the power play, Scotty Swain. That gave the Eagles a 2-0 lead, and then Austin Pick, a beautiful backhanded shot late in the first period to make this 2-1. As we do in the first period of all home hockey games, we go around the post-university sports scene. That's brought to you by Post University and its 17 NCAA Division II athletic programs. From women's volleyball, who play in the NCAA tournament on Thursday, to football in their historic 4-win season, Post offers a variety of sports in every season you can enjoy, whether a student, a parent, or a fan. For more information on Post University athletics, news, scores, and upcoming schedules for all your favorite teams, please go to posteagles.com. That's posteagles.com. Eagle fans, it's the holiday season, so ask yourself, is there a better way to start giving those gifts to that special someone or update that outdated closet than with Post-University apparel from the Eagle Team Store? How about your dorm room, home office, apartment, or home? Is it missing that special touch that only an Eagle blanket can provide? How about a mouse pad or a desk mat? If you answered yes to any of these questions, it sounds like you need to race to posteagles.com, click on the Fans tab, then choose School Store on the left-hand side and shop for all the latest Eagle swag and apparel. Shop today because the Cyber Monday sale was extended, and use the code CYBER25 to receive 25% off any order. That's CYBER, CYBER 25, and that code expires at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Tonight, you can also visit the campus store in the Lever Student Center on campus. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Let's start with the women's hockey team, who had a big win today at Sacred Heart, the Battle of Connecticut, in the NEWHA, if we can get that to load up for us. Big 2-1 win today as Emma Hohen had a goal and an assist. Jet Devlin, the game winner in the second period, 15 seconds in to the second period, and the Eagles come away with a big 2-1 win. With the win, they move to 6-5-1 in the NEWHA and 6-11-1 overall. They're now tied for fourth, which plenty of season left to go, but if they can maintain this momentum, they're only 2 points out of third, they could get a home playoff series in the first round. But again, a lot of hockey to play, but head coach Brandon Brown in his first season, the youngest coach in Division I, doing an excellent job for the women's hockey program here at Post University. Upcoming schedule, the women's hockey team will finish the fall portion of the schedule this weekend at Southern New Hampshire. So, excuse me, actually, they're not at Southern New Hampshire. That's my apologies. I'm looking at the wrong schedule. Because for a second there, I thought that was very interesting. They're both at the same place. They're not. The women's hockey program will finish up the fall portion of the schedule with a home-and-home against LIU. So come on out here Friday, 1:30 p.m. to the Sports Center of Connecticut. Catch LIU and the Eagles in a big NEWHA conference battle. They'll rematch Saturday night at Long Island University at 7 p.m. Those will wrap up the fall schedule. LIU currently in 7th in the NAWHA. So congratulations to the women's hockey program with a big 2-1 win today, and head coach Brandon Brown, who continues to move this team in the right direction and get over 500 overall in the NEWHA, but a lot of hockey still to play. Women's basketball, they're coming off a big win after a buzzer beater on Saturday. A crazy buzzer beater, should we say, and junior forward Alyssa Rosignol has been named to the CACC Conference Honor Roll as announced by the league office yesterday afternoon. She averaged 18 points a game during a 1-in-1 week for the team. She was 12 for 25 overall, 12 for 15 from the free throw line. She went for 30 points on 10 for 17 shooting against AIC on Sunday, including the buzzer beater. And she had 36 points, 14 rebounds, 5 steals, and 4 assists across 2 games. The Eagles return to conference play with 3 consecutive games, starting with a road matchup against the University of Bridgeport tomorrow at 5 p.m. The Eagles have won 7 consecutive games against the Purple Knights since the 21-22 season. So go pull for your women's basketball program coming off a big buzzing-beating win over the weekend. December 6th, that is Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Post University will have a cheer open house at Post University on 800 Country Club Road in Waterbury, Connecticut. Whether you're a prospective student or a college transfer, this event is the perfect opportunity to discover if Post aligns with your academic, athletic, and personal goals. You'll get a chance to meet the team, connect with a coach, explore campus, talk with faculty, and grab some Post swag. Come experience the campus energy firsthand and envision yourself as a Post Eagle. That's Saturday, December 6th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Post Cheerleading Open House. That's 800 Country Club Road in Waterbury, Connecticut. That's your look around the Post University sports scene here for a Tuesday evening here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Eagles lead Franklin Pierce 2-1 in the final home game of the fall portion of the season. The Eagles looking for a big 3 points, have a 2-1 lead as we head to the start of the second period. We'll come back with 2 minutes with coach's thoughts on the first period recap. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network, comprising the CACC network and youtube.com/go Post Eagles. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where the Eagles lead 2-1 over the Franklin Pierce Ravens here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Solid first period overall for the Eagles. They started off with a goal from Jonathan Meyer at 8:44 as he found a puck on a nice pass by Ryan O'Connell, that is. Add a second assist to Michael Montague, although that seems to be changing as time moves on. But Meyer walked in, instead of taking the 40-footer, closed in, took about a 25-footer and ripped it by Mastowski to take a 1-0 lead. Eagles then got a power play as Aiden Kennedy got tripped, and it only took him a whole 9 seconds to get a goal on that one as Scotty Swain found a little hole between the post and the skate of Mastowski, put it in at 10:32 on the man advantage, taking assist to Aiden Kennedy and Baxter Kimball, again at 10:32, and the Eagles on Swain's second had a 2-0 lead. Austin Pick then scores a goal late in the first period on a beautiful backhand. He came out from behind the net, cruised into the slot area, and just ripped the backhand top corner high over the glove of Kunin. That happened at 16:48, the fourth of the year for Pick. Give the assist to Tisdale and Paganini, and that's how we ended period number one, 2-1. Shots on goal in the first period for the Eagles, 21 for Franklin Pierce, 8. Face-offs, 15-7 for the Eagles. And as we bring Coach Whitney back in, Coach, the numbers all show that the Eagles had a good period, 1-for-1 on the power play, 1-for-1 on the penalty kill, 21-8 shots, 15-7 face-offs, but you feel like the last 5 minutes or so, Franklin Pierce sort of took the game back over.
Yeah, I mean, again, the numbers don't lie, right? Looking at those, analyzing those, it makes sense that Post is up in the game right now. But one thing I think, too, that Franklin Pierce probably is going to want to look at is they create quite a bit off the rush, which is something Post doesn't really do. It's not the style that they play. But they're very predictable. See if they have picked it up, because that third guy coming that they look for, that pass has been picked up more than a couple of times by Post. So if you're Franklin Pierce, that's an adjustment that you need to make, right? And if you're Post, if there is an adjustment that you want to make, I think you want to try to hold that blue line a little bit more deep into the neutral zone, because you have your back checkers coming, but it's just been too easy, really, on both sides, easier than it should be, to just gain through that neutral zone, and then that's where the havoc's created, right? So if Post can do that, they did a very good job of that with St. Mike's. They were tight in that neutral zone. They were up, taking away time and space. They had the back checker, so when you force that forward to hold on to that puck as a defender, because you're taking away that time and space by not stepping up but being up, you allow your back checkers to come in and make plays. That's where we can get our transition. That's where we can attack and continue the pressure, because this is going to be a period where Post is going to need to continue pressure on a very skilled Franklin Pierce, who can be pretty dynamic offensively with well over 3 goals a game average scoring.
Both teams taking the ice for the start of the second period. Elsewhere around the NE10, St. A's defeats Assumption 4-2 this evening up at St. A's, so that just compresses the NE10 standings even more. Makes this game even more important for both teams, really, as this is sort of, well, they'll have 2 games in hand. Well, they'll have 1 game in hand on Assumption and St. A's after today, but both of these teams playing their conference game in hand on their opponents within the NE10. So 40 more minutes of hockey, and important hockey for both teams, as we get ready to go here in the second period. Eagles in their home whites going left to right as you look at your screen and dial. Franklin Pierce in the maroon going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. Santoro and Fish in the face-off dot, 2-1 Eagles as we get ready to start period number 2. We thank you for joining us, whether this on the CACC Network, youtube.com/Go Post Eagles, or the Post University Sports Network. We thank you for coming, just waiting for the clock to show the 20 minutes. Santoro and Fish on the face-off. And Santoro wins it. Eagles did a good job on the face-offs in the first period. 15-7 advantage. Guzzardi Had the puck roll off his body. He'll go into that Zamboni corner. Santoro picks it up behind the net, comes out the far side, goes back to Kennedy at the point. Makes a move, sends the puck toward the net wide. Rims around from far to near, and then chipped out of the zone. Hope gloved it in. They say he's still on sides. I don't think anybody would have been happy if he kept going because he looked dangerously offsides on that play. Here's Kennedy. Turns it over at center and turns it over to a streaking Fish. Fish over the line. Good job defensively and a shot taken. Goes wide. Paganini tried to send it back in front. It chipped off a body. And is that too many men on the ice? What are they saying? Or nope, the net's off its moorings. Eagles with another bad turnover at center. They're going to have to improve on that.
Yeah, and they got a little bit lucky there because that initial play, that drop patch has really allowed Ben to get set a little bit better and be in good position to make a save. So a decision by them that kind of helped post.
Santoro back out. He'll take this face-off against Sterling this time. Santoro won another. He ends up to Gazzardi. Gazzardi tries to chip it up the wall. It's kept in by Brandish. Actually goes into the Franklin Pierce bench. So a little bit of a slowdown here in the first minute of the second period. Still 2-1 Eagles. Face off to the right of Ben Kunin this time. Eagles able to make a line change now. So Murray and Sterling on the draw. Won by Murray. Eagles doing a good job continuously in the face-off dot today. Murray tries to chip it out the center. Makes a nice pass to McQuegan. McQuegan gets to the red line. Dumps it in. McMains will go chase after it. Brandish there first. Rims it up to the near side. Murray lets it go to the point. Long shot taken and a stop right on by Mastowski as Montague took a shot. McQuegan comes out the other side. He takes a shot. Rebound loose. Mastowski made the first save and kicked away the second. McMains back to the point to O'Connell. O'Connell looking for a deflection. Ends up on Murray's stick. Murray tried to chip it out in front. He got it there. One bang, two bang. Rebound and a big save by Mastowski on McMains as he came over and slid over and made a save. Eagles with great pressure, and then they finally turn it over, and Ursillo will chase it down the ice. O'Connell there first, but taken by Ursillo. Ursillo comes out the near side, spins away from the check, goes down, no penalty there. Eagles trying to get it out of the zone. Goes high into the air and inside the Ravens zone. Meyer, who opened the scoring today, chips it back in. Eagles have to tag up. They do. Meyer keeps it in momentarily, then turns it over to White. White lost it to McCall, who gives it back to Noble. Noble, D to Montague. Pass up the middle of McCall. He gets to the red line. Nice pass over here on right wing to Norling, but it rolls off his stick. Behind the net, Norling doing a good job fending off the defender Tisdale, but then turns it over to Fret. Fret chips it high off the wall and out the center. Pacheco to Noble. Noble rims it back in, goes off the body. They're going to say onside, then they say offside, and Norling takes a hit for his trouble. As I'm not sure who called that. It wasn't the official on the line who called that offsides, but somebody did. It was probably a correct call. All in, but good offensive pressure there by the Eagles coaches. They had some real zone time on that setup.
Well, again, you can see with them attacking how, again, Franklin Pierce isn't able to do anything in that neutral zone. They're not being able to hold that zone and get that back checker to slow post down right now.
McDevitt and Fish on the faceoff, won by McDevitt, but then sent all the way down the ice for an icing by Hope. So field position draw will send this puck all the way back into the Ravens zone, as the Eagles zone, as the linesman's doing a dance, trying to figure out which side of the ice they'll choose. They'll choose Ben Kunin's left in the far faceoff dot. They'll make a line change as well and bring out Fish, Pick, and Paganini. McDevitt wins the draw to Hope. Hope makes a nice little move right up the middle of the ice and feeds Howell. Howell tries to go across the ice, gets it there to Kimball. Kimball had it chopped off his stick. Hope there to back him up. Sends it into the far side corner. Puck popped up in the air. Howell goes high in front of Hope to steal the rebound and then send it back behind the net. Ravens trying to get out of the zone. It's Nick Fish who gets to the blue line and then turns it over to Kimball. Kimball looking for Howell. Puck chopped off his stick, sent down and around and back in behind the net. And the Ravens will tag up with 3 minutes gone in period two. Still 2-1 Eagles. Long pass to Paganini, who has an assist on the Franklin Pierce goal. Sends the puck in behind Kunin. Kunin rimmed it all the way around. Took a lucky Eagle bounce, but then turned it over as that puck just kept going on the fresh ice. And Brandish sends it right back in. Noble leaves for Hope. Hope up the middle, off a stick, kept in the zone. Shot chopped toward the net, goes into the near side corner. Played behind the net by Blanchette. Blanchette, Levon, and Mitchell out there for the Ravens right now. Mitchell, shot deflects wide all the way over to the far side to Crowley. Crowley turned it over, and the Eagles finally take it out of the zone. Scotty Swain using his feet, tries to go around Crowley. He does. Swain up on left wing, spins away from Crowley. Tries to go back to the point to Noble. Noble takes a shot toward the net, and a left pad save by Mastowski. Good setup there by Scotty Swain. Pacheco takes a return feed, chips it in on right wing, but then turns it over to Mitchell, who will carry it out of his zone. Mitchell gets to the red line, makes a left-hand veer, sends it behind the net to Kunin, who leaves it for Noble as the Ravens go off on a line change. 4.5 minutes gone in period 2, still 2-1. McQuegan couldn't wrangle a pass sent to him inside the Eagles zone. Eagles turn it over, brought back in for a centering pass was Paganini. And then Foster chipped it into the corner. Long shot taken from the point, deflected and went high. I think Ben got a shoulder on it, deflected it into the near side corner. Then a recenter played by the Eagles out of the slot, but the puck ends up behind the net. Sterling goes down on his own, gives it back to the point for another shot taken, stopped by Kunin on the Christensen shot, and then McQuegan finally takes the puck off a rebound and gets it out to center. Tisdale goes back to Christensen. Long pass up on right wing to Foster. Foster dumps it in. Ravens go for a line change. And Pacheco looks for a long feed up for Norling, but that went off the official. Ends up on Meyer's stick onside. Meyer inside the Ravens zone trying to dump it down deep into the corner. Turned it over, and back the other way come the Ravens, who then turn it over themselves. But picked up inside the zone by 15 Paravalotis. He tried to make a fancy move, went off the body. Eagles find a loose puck and get out of the zone with it as Norling. Norling turned it over as McGuire stepped up, and now back behind the net it goes, but nobody can play it. Chasing in is McCall to get there first. McCall had it for a moment, lost it, and then the puck sent all the way down the ice. This shouldn't be an icing as Montague gets there first. He'll go look for O'Connell, D-to-D around the boards. O'Connell tried to chip it up, looking to get it out, and the Eagles do. Nice play up on right wing. Looks for a centering pass to Norling, cruising in and took a high shot that just goes high and wide. Nice setup between McCall and Norling, and the Eagles will chase the puck back in their own zone with Kennedy. Kennedy being watched by White, gets the puck in the near side corner, goes behind the net for Montague. Montague comes out the far side, has some time, makes one veer, chips the puck up the center. Eagles looking for a nice pass, and they find it. Here's Kimball over the line, tried to center it as he had a streaking Howe on the far side. Couldn't get it there. Hope does a good job to keep it in momentarily, but now a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Here's McGuire on right wing over the line, takes a shot that Kunin swallows whole with 6:37 gone in the second period. And while there's been a lot of transition, Coach, that's really one of the first odd man rushes we've seen for either team.
Yeah,
and a good stop by Ben.
No, it really is. And again, Benny right on top of the paint there. Just a routine save for him.
Face off to his left, Santoro, Gazzardi, and Swain out there for the Eagles. Top line out for Franklin Pierce as well, Paganini, Fish, and Pick. Eagles try to get it out to center. It goes to center. Here's Santoro. Santoro up on left wing, makes a fancy move around the defender. Now goes far to near, comes out this side, goes back to the point to Hope. Hope, long shot, looking for the deflection of Swain. He got it, but it deflected wide. Swain gives to Gazzardi. Behind the net, Gazzardi gets checked off, but Swain in there to help. Swain spins it back toward the Zamboni corner, turned it over, and Paganini will get it out. Looking for the stick of Pick, but Hope gets there first, keeps it away from him. Kennedy gets to the red line. He'll send it in, but Swain sticked it, so it didn't go deep, and then the Eagles almost turned it over. Hope inside his own zone, fought off Pick nicely, tried to get the puck to center. He did, and now chasing after it is Gazzardi. Gazzardi looking in front. There's Murray. Murray had a shot in the slot, trying to corral it. Had Pacheco cruising, and he'll take a shot that gets sticked away by Mastowski. If Murray could have corralled that, he had Pacheco cruising down the slot. He just couldn't get it to him. And the opportunity not as good, but then Murray takes a turnover inside the Ravens zone. He'll spin away from it, takes a spin-around shot that goes off the side of the net. McQuegan behind his net, spins away from the checker, looking to center it in front. Pekka there. Pekka gets hit in the corner, bounces right back up. He's really good at that. McQuegan fighting in there using his size. The puck pinned on there by Madsey and McQuegan, but then Pekka comes out with it. Gets it to Noble at the point. Noble dumps it right back in. Murray behind the net with time and speed. Centered it out to McQuegan, who fell. Pekka has it, tries to take a shot, chops at it. Puck bouncing in the slot, goes back to Noble on left point. He'll send the shot that gets deflected right on. As McQuegan got a stick on it. Murray may have gotten one too with 8:24 gone in period 2. Good board and puck work by the Eagles. Set up a couple of good opportunities there, Coach. This line with McQuegan, Pekka, and Murray has been good.
Yeah, really nice puck movement, in sync there. Got a shot through, had traffic in front. Just a great save by the goaltender, looking through the layers, looking through the levels, and locating that puck.
McCowell, Meyer, and Norling out for the Eagles. Sterling in the face-off dot against McCowell to Mastowski's left. McCowell tries to go forward with it. Didn't get there, so Christensen will send a pass out the center. Looking ahead, this could be icing. O'Connell racing after it, and they will call the icing. As Chris Foster, the freshman out of Amherst, Mass., formerly of the Springfield Picks, was the one chasing down for Franklin Pierce. That Picks program is pretty good. Turned out a couple of few NHL players actually, shouldn't say a couple. McCowell and Sterling to the right of Mastowski. This time McCowell goes backwards and wins it. O'Connell chips it high up in the air. Eagles keep it in momentarily with Norling. Norling makes a fancy move. Still has the puck. Corrals it. Backhand stop right on. Rebound Mastowski. Norling took a second swipe at it. Took the net off its moorings as he was trying to get there. I don't think that goal would have counted if he got it in because Norling's the one who chopped it off the post. But with 8:46 gone in the second, faceoff should probably be outside the zone, so a break for the Eagles there because it really was Norling who took the net off the moorings.
That's always an interesting call, too, because Franklin Pierce had possession, right? So it didn't affect anything if that puck got out.
McCowell thrown out of the faceoff. It's going to be Norling. Nope, they're going to leave McCowell in there. Linesmen's jobs are always unheralded. McCowell lost that faceoff to Sterling this time. Eagles have been good on the draws, didn't win that one. Long pass to center, stopped by Montague. Puck bouncing around. Ursillo trying to pick it up. Dumped in from center ice as Chris Foster did, and the puck goes behind the net. Ursillo, Foster behind the net. Ends up on the near side. Eagles trying to clear it out. They go high in the air. It bounces, and it doesn't get out until finally O'Connell spins, still in the zone, though, and gives it to Montague. Montague looking for Meyer, goes off his skate. Instead of going deeper, it went back toward the Eagle zone, and now Meyer takes a feed up the middle, over the line, takes a shot, stop, puck bouncing in the air. Good job by Mastowski to send it into the far side corner. Meyer behind his own net. He's looked good today. McCowell had Kimball right by the goal. Instead, D-to-D passing to Hope. Hope, long shot toward the net, bounced off the body of Tisdale. Eagles still with possession. Kennedy closing in on left wing. Kennedy gets to the goal line, spins away, feeds a pass to Kimball. Eagles making some offensive changes. Now Meyer. Meyer waits, had a shot, fanned on it, and stolen by Tisdale. Tisdale 1-on-4 to center, gets in over the line on left wing, takes a high shot that goes over Kunin, but then picked up on the other side by Frett, the only remaining Raven on the ice. Everyone went to go for a line change. Eagles trying to avoid the turnover. Meyer gets it back to Kennedy, and the Eagles will regroup. Kimball chips it up the wall, looking for a racing McDevitt. Had it chopped away from him by White, and the puck just bouncing at center ice as Howell comes off the bench to make a play. Howell tries to chip it toward the Raven zone. He got it there, but then sent right back out the center, and the Eagles will tag up with the puck dumped in with 9:30 to go in the second period. 2-1 Eagles. McGuire got it to center. Howell tried to send it back in. It was stopped. Now 2 Ravens fighting for it right at the Raven line, and McGuire will take it up on right wing. McGuire trying to get around Noble. He's checked, but he keeps going, then turns it over. Noble, nice pass out in the middle to Santoro with speed. Santoro gives to Swain, trying to find the puck. Goes to center, up the middle, to the slot with a shot. Blockered away by Mestowski. And a face-off inside the Raven zone with 9:03 to go in the second period. That was a good 3-on-2 rush there by the Eagles.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of that, and you can see what you can create right when you attack off the rush. If you can just get your feet moving and get your guys involved, you create some pretty good scoring opportunities there, which that one was.
1-on-1 here with Fish, Paganini, and Pick out there against Santoro, Gazzardi, and Swain. Face-off to the right of Mestowski. One by Fish, sent it behind the net, sends it all the way down here to Paganini, who just got it out, and Hope sends it right back in, blockered away by Mestowski. Eagles now in on the forecheck. Scotty Swain, who looks like he's got a 5th gear going right now, sends it behind the net. Gazzardi hit the wall, not the man. Puck rimmed up the near side. Hope keeps it in. Long shot goes off a leg. Off the leg of Crowley, actually. Back into the slot, then out the center, but the Eagles take a turnover, come right back in. Pass, Swain, shot! Puck lay there for a moment and knocked out of the crease and back to center. We saw a similar play in the game against St. Mike's, the last home game, where the official blew that one dead right away. This time they waited a little bit. Here's Pekka picking up a loose puck on right wing. Centered it in front of McQuegan, just behind him a little bit, not on the stick, more to the body. McQuegan's stick breaks. He goes chasing after it, and here comes Paganini. Paganini over the line trying to get around Noble. He does. Brings it toward the net. Stops on the line. Goes to a backhand and just misses it wide. Murray takes out Paganini as well. Was on the ice. He seems to be okay as he gets up. Puck behind the net. Hope feeds a pass up on the right wing. A nice play by Norling, but then he lost it. Hope behind them, though, there to help out, and he'll go D to Noble. Noble trying to get it out. Chips it up the center to Pekka, who lost it as Franklin Pierce swarmed him. Long shot by Christensen right into the body of Hope. Murray goes high into the air. There's a little bit of sloppy play here as the teams are playing catch. Rimmed it all the way around from far to near. Pekka tries to get there first. Puck pops up in the air, out to center, and the Ravens will send it into the bench area, creating a face-off just outside the Eagle line with 7:19 to go in the second, still 2-1.
Yeah, that puck has taken some crazy bounces this period, too. I think they better turn the freezer down a little bit more before the game when they put those pucks in.
I was going to say, it's getting colder out. Shouldn't that make the puck slide better?
In theory.
McCall on the draw with Sterling. Sterling sort of won the draw, but the Eagles took control, send it in behind the net from near to far, rimmed around. McCall picks it up on the far side. McCall went toward the net, had it chopped off his stick. McGuire took him. He centered it in front, ends up to Pacheco at center point, looking for McCall. That bounced off his stick, and back the other way comes the Ravens. It's Ursillo. Ursillo couldn't get inside the Eagles zone. Puck turned over. Long pass by Kennedy. Bad pass. Sterling took it right at center ice. That was too slow of a setup and read well by Sterling. Norling gives to Meyer. Meyer dumps it in around the boards from near to far. Went off the dasher and bounced out the far side closer to the net than they would have liked. And here comes Sterling. Up on right wing, over the line, centering pass. Good job by Kimball to play defense, but McGuire picked it up on right point. McGuire goes behind the net, looking to center, but nobody there. Comes all the way through to the other side where White looks for McGuire, then pucks the puck down into the corner. And now the Ravens forechecking. Taken by Ursillo. Ursillo spins, gets taken down by O'Connell, and here's McDevitt. McDevitt trying to get it out the center. He does. Nice little play there to Howell. Howell then turned it over right at the Ravens bench, and they dump it right back into O'Connell. O'Connell goes near side from McDevitt, chops it out in front. Eagles turn it over again. Shot taken toward the net, blocked in front as Howell got his body on it as Madsey had found a loose puck on a bad pass. And that'll give the Eagles another opportunity as into the air went Montague. Dumps it inside the Ravens zone. Good job by Howell to find the puck. Howell looking to center, but nobody there as everybody went for a line change. And instead, Mestowski comes out to make the save outside the crease as Howard takes down Howell. I don't think any penalties will be called there with 5:44 remaining in period two. Still 2-1 Eagles.
Now, right now, the post players just have a little bit more jump. There's a few guys out there. Howell couple other guys. They've just got that little extra jump in their step right now that's, I think, making a bit of a difference so far in this period.
Also, it seems like, Coach, the main offensive weapons for Franklin Pierce are Pick and McGuire. And if they can just sort of keep them down, it seems to slow it down a little bit. Nice setup here. Swain goes to Noble. One-timer stopped by Mostowski with the left pad. Good setup there by the Eagles on a set play. Pacheco, near side corner, spins away from the defense of Madsey, but then doesn't turn it over, and Eagles keep it in somehow. Gazzardi then lost it to center. Pacheco has to be a little careful with the emotions as he almost lost that puck before dumping it back in. Swain picks it up on the half wall inside the Ravens zone, spins behind the net, looks into the slot, but the only one there was Austin Pick, and he gives it up to Fish. Fish at center looking for Pick over on left wing as he's cruising down. Pacheco there. Pick tried to center it in front, instead goes behind the net to Paganini. Noble rimming him off. Paganini goes down, no call. Swain took it away from Paganini and dumps it to center, and he'll go chasing after his own puck. 2-on-1 possible, but Gazzardi fell down, and a good defensive play by the defender there. That was Tisdale. Puck bouncing around in the slot as both teams struggling to control it. Hope does a nice behind-the-pack pass to Kennedy to prevent an opportunity by the Ravens, and now Kennedy going 1-on-4 through the defense, spins away, finally loses the puck, but gains it back in the corner. He goes behind the net. Kennedy chips it over here near the half wall, and then Paganini picks it up. Paganini gets to the red line, will dump it in, and that's the best way to minimize that number one line of Franklin Pierce, is force them to play defense for their entire shift, and they go off on a good job by the Eagles. Here's McMains over the line, leads from McQuegan, closing in, looking for the top corner, missed it high and wide. McMains picks it up, center point, cruises and takes a shot. Too many Ravens in the way. McQuegan does a good job to find it, but then turned it over as Blanchette picked it up, and now here comes Levan. That was a case where it felt like the Eagles were trying to do a little bit too much on that one in that offensive set. Puck behind the net for the Ravens, goes back to the point to McGuire. McGuire comes over here, looking for Brandish, puck into the slot, bouncing away, now dumped into the far side corner. O'Connell checked off by Mitchell. Two Eagles down there, but Blanchette also helping out. Now 5 players right on that half wall, right at the bottom of the circle. Rugby slap and scrum with 3:24 to go in the second period. Still 2-1. Eagles come away with it. McQuegan tried to chip it up to McMains, but good job by McGuire, the Ravens captain, to keep it from going any deeper. Over the line is Blanchette. Spins away with a nice pass to Mitchell, but good job by McCall to go down there. Then he goes down. Mitchell behind the net. There is a whistle, and there might be a Raven penalty here for tripping. Let's see. Looks like it's going to be Mitchell, 2 for tripping at 16:56. And the Eagles will go to their second man advantage. They're 1 for 1. They spent 9 whole seconds on the man advantage, getting the goal.
Great opportunity here, right? They pretty much dominated this period for the most part. And with the success they just had in the power play, awesome to see if they can get another one right here.
Santoro wins it to Swain, goes back to Kimball on right point, gives it down to Swain, top of the near circle, who goes back to Kimball. Kimball, center point to Kennedy. Kennedy closing in, right side, slap shot! Blocked as Santoro took it, gets the puck back. McMains goes up the wall to Santoro. Santoro, too many people, and then turns it over. It's a break for Sterling. Santoro trying to get back. Sterling walks in, lost the puck, now it's free, sent back to Cunin, and a save after Cunin lost his stick. Everything was working until Kennedy and Santoro sort of collided with each other right at the blue line, and that gave Sterling a semi-breakaway. Good job by Santoro getting back 25 seconds into the man advantage, and a face-off to Ben's right.
Yeah, he did a great job just getting on his horse and getting back and just interrupting the play enough. Not taking a penalty, but just interrupting the play enough.
Murray won that draw, and the Eagles will start inside their own zone with 1:30 to go on the man advantage. Over the line on left wing, cruising in with a centering pass to Murray was Norling, and the net off its moorings now. At least it still looks that way. Back to the point to Meyer. Meyer to Noble. Noble, long shot in front. McDevitt finds it, tries to slap it down with his stick. Shot it wide. That far post still looks like it's off its moorings, but we continue play. Puck sent all the way down the ice. See if the referee takes a look at that now. Norling has to wait. Eagles offside because Murray was down. That does look off its moorings, doesn't it?
Not sure. There you go.
So the Franklin Pierce player moves the goal to show that it's off its moorings.
That was off by quite a bit.
Yeah. Would have wondered what might have happened should a goal have gone in, Coach, because, it was like that for a while, and the Eagles had offensive pressure with that net way off its mooring. Officials trying to figure out where the faceoff should be. It's going to be right outside the Ravens line with 53 seconds remaining on the Eagles' second power play and 1:57 to go in the second period. Stay with us in the second intermission. We'll go around the NE10 as we usually do. Eagles to Kimball in over the line, trying to spin away from the check, looking for Santoro. Now 5 players fighting for it, now 6 as Swain fights in for it. Right here in front of us. Ravens get it and send it down the ice. Swain almost took Santoro almost took a high stick with 27 seconds remaining on the second power play, 90 seconds to go in period 2. Kennedy, dangerous right up the middle, almost turned it over. And he'll have to start again. One last shift on this power play is Kennedy. Gives it up to Swain. Swain on left wing, tries to go around the defense. He does. Kimball let it go as Swain was trying to get there. Kennedy pinches down, looking for Kimball. Puck bouncing. Puck sent back towards Santoro. And now a 2-on-1 opportunity is White. Comes in over the line. White looking in front. Finds his man. Backhand shot stopped by Kunin. As that was Paravalotis. Power play over. Collision as 2 players go down. Shot from the point by McGuire. Blocked in front. Good job by the Eagles there. And now with a minute to go, puck rimmed around to the near side. Eagles now playing defense after the turnover. Kimball tries to chip it up the wall. He does all the way down, but the snowy, slow ice keeps that from going all the way down. And spinning away is Mitchell from Howe. Mitchell looking for White, too far, no icing. Noble will play it behind his net. Noble, dangerous pass. Got it to Pacheco. Eagles will try to bring it out dangerously up the middle was McCall. It would have been better just to go high in the air with 15 seconds. And the Eagles still fighting inside their own zone. Howell. Near side corner. Mitchell turned it over. Long shot from the point and just went wide. Ben did a good job to get in front of it, but I don't know if he got any piece of it. Eagles will be wise just to put it on the wall. 3, 2, and 1, and that'll be the end of period number 2. And there's going to be a late penalty on the Eagles as well. So they'll start the third period shorthanded. For all the good the Eagles did those last 30 seconds or so, not good. Couple of turnovers, a big-time shot that just went wide, and then what appears to be a late penalty should put them shorthanded to start the third.
And we've seen that this season. We've seen that emotion, controlling your emotions, knowing where you are time-wise in a game. Just leave that stuff alone.
Officially, it's going to be McQuegan 2 for tripping at 20 minutes. Probably could have called roughing and a couple other things, but that's the end of 2 periods here at Post University at the Sports Center of Connecticut. 2-1. But, a solid period for the Eagles overall in those 30 seconds. Now they're going to come out and kill another Franklin Pierce power play to start the third, although they are number 1 in the NE10 in penalty kill and 1 for 1 today. Coach, what's the message as they go into the locker room for the third period?
Well, the message initially is, right, let's kill this, go back to 5-on-5 because we dominated that period 5-on-5. We're good on draws. We're winning that battle. Let's win all our draws. Let's get this puck out, kill it off, go 5-on-5. And continue to play, but remain disciplined, right? As you get in these tight games, very often the teams that kind of lose their cool a little bit get caught up in the emotion of the game as opposed to playing the game, very often end up putting their teams behind the 8 ball, putting themselves on the box. So I think that's the message there. And then, we've been in so many games with this team this year where we say, the message is you got to win the third period.
Eagles have looked good so far. They have a 2-1 lead, but they're going to have to start the third period on the penalty kill here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. So that's where we are through 2 periods. Eagles lead 2-1. We'll be back in 2 minutes with a look around the NE10 conference hockey scene here on the Post University Sports Network, comprising the CACC Network and youtube.com/go Post Eagles. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where the Eagles maintain their 2-1 lead through 2 periods against Franklin Pierce. Second period intermission, as we always do here at the home games of Post University. We go around the NE10 Hockey Conference, and that's brought to you by Post University, ranked as one of the top online colleges for 2025 by Newsweek. So ask yourself, are you a Post person? What are you waiting for? Reach out to Post University today to see what they can offer you. Online, hybrid, or on-campus options await. For more information on all of Post degree programs, visit campus, take a tour, or apply, because it is the application season. Go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Do it today. Eagle fans, it's the holiday season still, so ask yourself, is there a better way to start that gift-giving season than buying someone special that special post-university apparel from the Eagle team store? How about something for the dorm room, the home office, the apartment, or your home? Is it missing that special touch that only an Eagle blanket, Eagle mouse pad, or Eagle desk mat can provide? If you answered yes to any of these questions, it sounds like you need to race to posteagles.com. Click on the Fans tab and choose a school store on the left-hand side and shop for all the latest Eagle swag and apparel. Shop today because it's the Cyber Monday sale was extended. Use the code CYBER25 to receive 25% off any order. That's CYBER25, CYBER25. That code expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight. You can also visit the campus store in the Lever Student Center on campus. That's open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. NE10 Player of the Week is Leo Piandez from Assumption. He had a huge performance against Salve Regina on Saturday. He scored his first collegiate hat trick as he scored all the goals for Assumption. Piandez' 3-goal performance is the first Assumption hat trick since Ronnie Paragallo had one on January 3rd, 2024 at Wentworth. Callum Welch is the goaltender of the week. He's also from Assumption. He logged 60 saves against undefeated Salve Regina on Saturday. He logged the most saves in a single game in the Northeast 10 since Colin Burke had 72 in the 2024 NE10 championship game. I don't remember 72 saves, but congratulations to Colin Welch. That's a heck of a performance and will help your save percentage. Jake Russell is the NE10 Rookie of the Week. He had 2 assists in 2 games for Assumption, while also winning 65.7% of his faceoffs. At UMass Dartmouth on Tuesday, he had an assist and a block shot while winning 11 of 17 faceoffs. Russell capped off the week with another assist while winning 12 of 18 battles at the dot at undefeated Salve Regina. So those are your NE10 player, goaltender, and Rookie of the Week. Lone game in the NE10 today, as we mentioned earlier, St. A's defeated Assumption 4-2. That makes the NE10 conference standings as follows. Assumption 4-2-1, 13 points, 6-5-1 overall. Franklin Pierce has 12 points, 4-1-0 in conference, 5-4-0 overall. St. A's now has 10 points, 3-3-1 in conference, 3-7-2 overall. St. Mike's 2-2-2 in conference for 8 points, 3-3-3 overall. Post is 1-3-1 in conference, has 4 points, 2-5-1 overall. And Southern New Hampshire 1-4-1 in conference, 2-5-1 overall. As we mentioned, essentially for Franklin Pierce and Post, this is a game in hand on the rest of the conference. Both teams will play again this weekend, as the Eagles will travel to Southern New Hampshire for a 2-game set starting on Friday at 7:40 p.m. Up in New Hampshire, they'll play game 2 on Saturday. Quick turnaround, 2:40 p.m. Assumption travels to LIU on Friday. They'll play at East Meadow at the Northwell Health Ice Center. So they'll play a Division I game against LIU on Friday. St. Mike's travels to Franklin Pierce for the start of their 2-game set. That will be at 7 o'clock on Friday. And St. Mike's hosts Franklin Pierce on Saturday at 7 o'clock. Southern New Hampshire is at Roger Williams on December 10th at 7 o'clock. And Assumption will wrap up the NE10 fall season at Westfield State, 7:35 p.m. on December 11th. That is your look around the NE10 conference for a Tuesday evening here at the Sports Center of Connecticut with the Eagles leading 2-1. Coach will come back with his second period thoughts and a preparation for the third period. We'll give you a recap of the second period as well. You're listening to Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Jeff Nelson, Coach Pete Whitney here with you as we recap the second period here in the Eagles with a 2-1 lead. Well, there was no scoring in the second period, so that makes that a little simple. Eagles 0 for 1 on the man advantage Franklin Pierce did not have a power play in the second period, but they will have one to start the third as Hugh McQuegan took a penalty at the 20-minute mark. 2 minutes for tripping. So Franklin Pierce will start the third period on the power play. On the first Eagle goal by Jonathan Meyer, add an assist to Bradley McMains. So Meyer, his first from Ryan O'Connell and Bradley McMains at 8:44, take the assist away from Montague. And that was the opening goal. So give McMains an assist on that one. For McMains, that is his third point of the season. Shots on goal in the second period. Franklin Pierce 7, a two-period total of 15. For the Eagles 16, a two-period total of 37. So they lead 37-15 in shots. Face-offs, Eagles 12-3 in the second period, 27-10 overall. Coach, again, the stats show dominance. They lead 2-1. That means this game is close, and it's going to be a very interesting third period. I don't want to say what are they doing wrong, but what's the next step in the process for the Eagles to sort of get? You feel like they should be winning 4-0, 4-1.
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right in terms of looking at stats, right? Lopsided in favor of Post with shots on goal, lopsided in favor of Post with the wins on the draws. Both penalties that Franklin Pierce has taken have been tripping penalties, which are typically an indication that the other team is just moving their feet a little bit faster than you. But you look at all that, and it's only a one-goal game. And you're playing a team that still scores average 3 goals or more a game. So Post has got to find a way to get another one in the back of the net to give themselves a little bit of breathing room here.
They've done a good job on Austin Pick. He did score the goal in the first period, but they really held him down in the second period. Doug McGuire, their captain, plays defense, also sort of one of their big offensive players. He's got 10 points on the season. They've done a good job on him in the second period. But it's going to be fresh ice, and it's going to be a power play for them to start the third. They are first in the NE10 on the power play. The Eagles first on the penalty kill. The Eagles beat them on the first power play, killing it off. But Eagles are really going to have to hunker down is not the right word, but really close up that box to keep them off the board to start this period.
Yeah, I mean, Post likes to attack on the wall quickly, so Pierce has just got to move the puck that much quicker to try to counter that, and then more lateral movement to beat that box, right? Because the box is tight, it's compact, so on either one side or the other, there is space because it's the middle of the ice that they're trying to take away. So quick passes, getting in a better spot, I mean, that's got to be your tactic. So we'll see what they come up with here. And again, like I say, just we say it a lot this season so far. Just again, another one of those games where you have to be the better team in the third period from the net out, and that's going to be the bottom line.
I've thought the Eagles in this game have done really well on the boards, winning the corner battles as well. They're not the biggest team in the world, but Franklin Pierce is small compared to the Eagles in size, and I think they've done a good job winning pucks along the walls and the corners in both zones so far today.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, right now Post is checking every box. The question is, are they going to be able to keep the higher scoring team at bay for another 20 minutes?
Teams take the ice here for the start of the third, and Coach, to that point, the Eagles do have one thing that I think, again, never want to jinx the man, but Ben Quinine, who, by all accounts is probably the best goaltender in the conference, he's a difference maker, and then that's where you're going to need him in these third periods right here.
Yeah, there's no question. And again, here on the power play, your goaltender has to be your best penalty killer, and that's just the reality of the game.
If anybody hears a crash, it's because I've fallen through the Pete Whitney Broadcast Center all the way directly into the locker room below me.
Well, we'll just refer to that as the Jeff Nelson emergency exit.
Yeah. Maybe it says I need to lose a few pounds, too. I don't know. But I don't like the way that sounds. Either way, start of the third period here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We thank you for joining us. Eagles in the home white. We'll go right to left as you look at your screen and dial. Franklin Pierce, who starts off on the power play, will go left to right. McCowell will start the third period on a face-off draw against Giovanni Ursillo as the Ravens bring out their number one power play unit to start. McQuegan in the box. 2 for tripping. A big third period for the Eagles early on here as we end the fall session at home. Again, these big 3 games, 9 available points for the Eagles, gets themselves right back into the conference standings if they can. Good job by Pekka to steal the puck off the faceoff and send it back into the Ravens zone, and the Ravens will restart again inside their own zone. It's the captain, McGuire. McGuire comes out behind his own net, gets up to center, leaves it on left wing, and then turns it over again. Good job there by O'Connell to pinch in. Pekka now will chase after the stick of Paganini. He'll dump it in around the boards from near to far. Hope in there. Paganini falls down. He had a good opportunity to get the puck, but chips it in behind the net. Paganini gets there first. He'll send it over here for Austin Pick. Pick, the goal scorer for the Ravens. Sends it back towards Paganini behind the net too far. Rims it all the way around the fish. He'll try to go back to Paganini. Good step in by Kennedy. Hope tries to get it out. Now pins the puck right there on the wall. His stick was in there as well. Of Fish. Hope using the body on Fish's stick. And behind the net is Paganini. Kennedy's got to be careful not to hold there. A minute gone on the power play. Puck just behind the net, 5 players, and then Macau wisely backs away as the 6. And that puck just pinned on the wall. Time ticking down. Finally brought out by Fish. Goes back to Pick. Pick sends it toward the net. Stopped by Kunin. A very slow rolling puck. Excuse me, that was Orsillo who got it to Pick. Now Paganini sends it all the way over here on right point to Pick. Pick holds, waits, takes a shot toward the net, looking for a deflection again. Kunin got a body on it, and the Eagles send it all the way down the ice. Good job on the penalty kill by the Eagles. No real opportunities so far with 20 seconds remaining, as the Eagles did a good job there with their 4-man penalty kill. And again, just fighting on the wall using their size. Speed up on right wing over to left wing, is Sterling. Sterling goes behind the net, comes all the way over here now on the right side. Sterling keeps going with it, goes back to the blue line, hold it for too long. Power play expires. Down low for a one-timer, gets fanned on by Foster. Foster behind the net, spins off the check of Montague. Santoro picks it up, goes up the wall to Swain nicely, and the Eagles can have a break if they hurry. Here's Swain with some speed on right wing over the line, spins away from the check, looks in the middle for Santoro, finds the puck for a moment down the slot, but then bounced off his stick. And out to center. Puck sent back into the Eagles zone. Montague goes backhand looking for Swain. Swain trying to get there first, lost it. Tipped right on, though, as a simple little shot taken by Madzi. Ended up on Kunin's pad, and that puck is iced. With 2:43 gone in period 3. Ben with 3 saves in the third period so far. Eagles did a good job on the penalty kill, coach, though, overall.
Yeah, with their dominance on the faceoff, you'd almost like to see him put a guy wide and just fly him, flip the puck out there, see if you can generate some offense and try to pad your lead a little bit here.
I feel like that would be Scotty at this point, Coach.
Yeah.
Santoro on the draw with Matthew Frett, the sophomore out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Well, that was short-lived as Frett tossed out of the faceoff. I think we need to talk about this face-off rule because even the players are confused whether they're tossed or not. Frett back in after being tossed. Santoro wins it, didn't really matter. Kimball tries to get it out of the zone. Instead, he just ices the puck. But Swain trying to win the race might win it there. He does, so they blow off the icing. Good job by Scotty Swain. He flew. He just wasn't far enough ahead.
Right.
But did a good job to allow the Eagles to change behind the play and not have a face-off forced inside the zone. Eagles find the puck, gives to Noble. Long shot from the point, stopped right on. Rebound sent toward the net, stopped by Mastowski for his first big save of the third period. 3:10 gone, still 2-1. Give credit to Scotty Swain on that one, Coach.
Yeah, all that starts just because Scott's hard work and then negates an icing. And Post gets Franklin Pierce running around a little bit, and they get an opportunity.
Face off to the right of Mastowski. Murray on that draw. Murray wins it to McQuegan for a one-timer that got blocked off a leg. And sent all the way down, no icing. Pacheco inside his own zones. Has 2 Ravens watching him, gets it up to McMains. McMains turns it over. Puck sent back behind the net. Pacheco will play it. He'll have a moment as Franklin Pierce has revved up their forecheck a little bit. Noble gets it out to McQuegan a little bit too far, dumped all the way down. Blanchette picks it up inside the zone. He turns it over to McQuegan. McQuegan pinching it down the wall, fighting 1-on-3 now. Somebody comes in there to help out for the Eagles as that puck's on the near side wall, and then finally McGuire comes away with it. Excuse me, that was Mitchell who came up on left wing to Tisdale. Tisdale dumps it in looking for Mitchell. Hope rubbed off Tisdale, took the puck away, gives to Howell, gets outside the zone. Looking for the red line. He might have gotten there, so no icing. Good job by, actually, it might have been an icing, but goaltender Mastowski came out to touch it, so no icing. And the Ravens come back the other way. Mitchell over the line, looking to the right side for Fish. Too far, puck bounced up in the air. Fish looking for a penalty, not going to get one. McDevitt gets away from the check of Paganini, and he'll bring it up on right wing over the line. Fancy little move ahead. Puck toward the net. Norling couldn't get his stick on it. Norling tried to chip it back in the middle. Instead, he'll spin with the puck on the far side wall and lose the puck, and back the other way come McGuire. McGuire dumps it from near to far. Chasing after it is Montague. Montague being checked by Paganini. Fights it up the wall, but it's kept in by Brandish for a minute and then stolen by McCall. McCall, if he has speed, can have a breakaway. He comes in on the blue line. Holds. Wrist shot. Stopped by Mastowski as McCall decided to take the shot from about 30 feet out as the angle is getting cut off. O'Connell, left side, shot toward the net, blocked in front. Not sure if that made it to Mastowski. And O'Connell will send it right back in, and the Eagles will tag up with 5 minutes gone in the third. Still 2-1 Eagles. McGuire inside his own zone on the near side. Feeds a long pass up the ice. It goes into the body of Paganini. He finds it. Paganini closing in. Penalty upcoming on O'Connell. See if that's a penalty shot or a penalty. 6-on-5 right now as goaltender Mastowski went to the bench. Eagles just trying to touch the puck. They will here. Let's see what the call is. Penalty or penalty shot. Penalty. Hooking. 5:24. O'Connell 2 for hooking. Franklin Pierce 0 for 2 on the man advantage, Coach. And then, Coach, that was more of a bad break than anything. It was a pass up the middle, but it bounced off the body, and that's how Paganini got the breakaway. Paganini.
Yeah, there have been a lot of that. There's been a lot of the. It's so crazy, right? I mean, the ice is 85 feet wide. Your body's about 3 feet wide when you're in your position, and we tend to have no issues as players hitting that 3 foot and missing the other 82 feet.
Puck dumped all the way down into the Ravens zone. Good job by Kimball to keep it down there for a little while and force Franklin Pierce to regroup, killing off the first 20 seconds of the third Franklin Pierce power play of the evening. Pick for Ursillo, but good job by Kennedy to dump it right back out the center.
Yeah, Franklin Pierce struggling to get a clean break into the zone. Post doing a great job.
Fish to Paganini. He'll bring it in up on left wing. Paganini looking to spin back. He gets it back to McGuire on left point. McGuire closes in. Wrist shot deflected and went off the left pad of Ben Kunin and kicked into the near side corner crowd with 6:14 gone in the third and 1:11 remaining on the power play. Face off to Ben's right.
Yeah, that post. The defenders did a good job there, too, kind of clearing guys out so Ben could actually see that puck.
They get the number 1 unit off the ice for the Ravens as well as the number 2 power play unit out there now. Brandish, center point, comes over here for Paravolotis. Swings it down low for Foster. Foster fakes a shot, gives to Paravolotis down on the goal line. He'll spin away from the check of of Pacheco, looking for a centering pass of Sterling in front, but wide it goes. Fret. Back to Brandish. Brandish looking for Fred. He'll dump it behind the net to Foster. Good job by Pacheco again to feed off Foster. Wyatt Noble has the puck, dumps it all the way down the ice. Again, Coach, Eagles just winning those board battles right now, and that's not Franklin Pierce's game with their lack of size.
No, and again, they're not in a position, like you said, even to be off the wall in order to move that puck to negate that.
Over the line comes Brandish. He'll go from slot to left point. Give it down to Fret. Fret trying to close it, looking for a streaking Sterling, but too wide with 15 seconds remaining on the third power play. Sterling, he'll skate all the way around the ice. Near the far, centered it in front. Kunin holds the puck with Foster in the crease. And a face-off to his right with 8 seconds remaining on the power play. 12:43 to go in the third, still 2-1.
Yeah, with possession here, there's a potential here for Post 2 to maybe be hitting that player off the bench or out of the box too. They do just such a good job on those draws, and we can control it for a second or two. They might have something.
Murray and Fish, won by Murray, clean. Noble with time to clear it out, and he does, and that'll kill. The third Franklin Pierce power play. They're 0 for 3 now Eagles' number one penalty kill in the NE10, and they've showed it today. Long pass looking for Paganini. This could be icing. They're going to wave it off. Paganini tried to center it out in front, but Ben got a stick on it before Pick could get it. And that'll give the Eagles an opportunity to clear. Pacheco gets it out to center. McQuegan over there. Two Eagles fighting for it, trying to get the puck away from Fish. Now just a fight at center, really. Murray finally comes away with it. Goes back in his zone dangerously so, but Kennedy got there and sent it right back down into the Raven zone. Dangerous pass there. But the Eagles managed to get it back. Murray, long shot from the point, sticked away by Mastowski. McMains, far side corner, has a little bit of space and rims it down behind the net to Norling. Norling, as the Eagles cycle, he turned it over. Murray gets there behind the net to help out on Norling. Now 4 players behind the net. Murray comes away with it. Comes over here for Hope. Hope fanned on his shot toward the net from the top of the near circle. Now a 2-on-1 for Franklin Pierce. Pick. Paganini. Paganini closing in. Nice stick there by Kennedy. Closing in. Net goes away. Puck goes in the net. No goal. Pick took the net off its moorings. Franklin Pierce celebrating, but the problem is Austin Pick was in the goal before the puck.
Yeah, that's the right call. That play was that net was well off.
Yeah, that net was a solid couple feet off.
Yeah, before anything happened.
Definitely less controversial than the St. Michael's incident from a week or so ago.
Yes, for sure.
Referees are going to talk. Even if he got pushed into the net, though, it was well after the play. You couldn't call an impending goal there, but the referees are going to talk it over. No penalty seems to be on the play. Or no, there is one. Apologies. Murray's going to get 2 for holding.
Well, I think what they're looking at potentially is what caused him to get into the net. I think that's what they're looking at. That's what they're talking to the Franklin Pierce coach first about.
But the secondary part of that is once that net is way off the moorings like that, Ben can't even stop it with his pad, so it doesn't matter that he puts it in after. There are situations where the goal comes off the moorings and they will call it a goal in certain situations. Right. That's probably not one of them.
The other piece, too, is who is the penalty on, right? I mean, if the penalty is on Franklin Pierce, then when he touches that puck, the penalty occurred before that, so that's going to be a no play. But curious to see what they call here. The officials are explaining that to the coaches.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to change their mind at this point.
No.
Call on the ice was no goal. Murray 2 for holding at 8:23, so Franklin Pierce right back to the man advantage. It is 4 on 4. Well,
no, here we go. Just kidding.
They only had one penalty up on the board, so Eagles with another big kill, but this time Franklin Pierce wins the face-off. McGuire tried to send it toward the front of the net. It goes off the leg of McCall. McCall sends it down around the board. McGuire sends it down around the boards. Paganini falls down. Ursillo picks it up, gives to Pick. Pick tries to go away from Kennedy. Good job pinning him right on the Zamboni door, but Pick comes away with it. Pick, top of the near circle, back to the point to Ursillo. Quick passing over here for Pick. Pick closes in, waits, holds, Kennedy in front. Nice shot. Blocker saved by Kunin. You can see the talent on Austin Pick. McGuire closing it, centered in front. They score. Finally got a power play goal. It's Paganini at 8:56. And the Ravens have tied the game at 2. On a nice centering pass there by McGuire. And this game tied.
Right, and again, it's fourth power play?
Fourth power play.
You're 25%?
They are over that. They are 24.5% on the season, so right on the number.
Right, so that's you just can't let that team go to the well like that often.
McGuire definitely gets the first assist. I think Pick will get the second one, but we'll see on the call. So call it Paganini his 12th goal of the season, mind you. Give Sterling the 1 assist at 8:56 on the power play. This game tied, and as we talked about numerous times, the Eagles have dominated the stats, but are now tied 2-2. Puck in the far side corner. Eagles fighting for it. McDevitt finds Noble, but then a puck centered in front. Kicked away by Kunin. Howell has Kimball streaking, but can't get control of the puck. It squirts free at center, and back in the other way come the Ravens. Over the line, but a good stick check by Noble sends it back to center. And McGuire will play it at center ice. McGuire sends it down around the boards from near to far. Howell picks it up on the far side, chips it right back out to center. Paganini is 12th on the power play from McGuire and Nick Fish. At 8:56 on the power play, Franklin Pierce now 1 for 4 on the man advantage. Right back on the other way to Sterling. He cross ice dumps it over here in the near side Zamboni corner behind the net to Ursillo. Ursillo goes back to the point to Christensen. Long shot looking for another deflection. He got it, but it just went wide. Howell did a good job to chop it, but couldn't get it out of the zone. Puck sent back behind the net. Eagles scrambling a little bit. Foster checked off by Noble right in the Zamboni door and corner. 4 players down in that corner now. Santoro coming over to help out to give the odds better, but Foster came away with it. Sent it down around the Howell. Howell, far side corner, looking for Kennedy. He gets it there. And now Kennedy with an opportunity to come out. Feeds to Howell. Howell, long cross ice pass to Santoro. Right on the stick. Santoro with speed over the line, cruising toward the net. He'll go behind the net, looking to spin it out in front. Santoro comes out the far side, takes a shot toward the net that goes high and wide. Hope over there couldn't get a stick on it. He'll dump it back down the half wall, but then out to center it goes as the Ravens controlled it and sent it back. Hope looking for Santoro. Too far. This should be icing. Nope, waved off. Behind the net it goes. Eagles fight for it. Gazzardi comes away with it behind the net, trying to center it out in front. Now he'll chase it into the near side corner. Looking for O'Connell back at the point, and he sends it down into the circle area. Swain fighting for it. He gets taken down, no call. Puck sent out to center and all the way down. No icing as Howard dumped it down and won't get to the goal line. With 8:45 to go in the third, game tied at 2. Meyer lets the puck roll, comes out the other side, almost got it, but O'Connell picked it up at the red line. O'Connell tries to bring it back in. McCowell fights for it, gives it to O'Connell. Nice back pass looking for Meyer. Too far ahead, though, and now back the other way come the Ravens. They had a 2-on-1 if they hurried. High stick.
They played with a high stick. Right,
Called.
high stick. Yeah.
So that faceoff will come deep inside the Ravens zone with 8:25 to go in the third. 2-2. Eagles had a 2-0 lead. They've been tied. McCowell on the faceoff to Mastowski's left. Because of the 2 power plays, the Eagles have not had a lot of shots here in the third period, despite having 37 through 2. Puck bounces away off the stick. Meyer picks it up inside the Eagle zone. Gives to Pacheco. Pacheco, nice pass to Norling. Norling avoids McGuire. Cruises in on left wing. Takes a long shot. Sicked away by Mastowski. Kicked it into the corner. Norling tries to come up with it again. He does. Norling spindles it for Meyer, but then turns it over, and here comes Brandish. Brandish sends it in. He'll chase after it. Norling trying to get in front of it. Can't control it. Backhand toward the net. Kunin got a body on it as it rolled wide. Paganini, who's got the tying goal, his 12th of the year, tried to chip it up the wall and ended up out the center as Sterling gives to McGuire. 7:45 to go in the third, 2-2. McGuire using speed up over the line. Long shot. Stopped by Kunin, popped up in the air, gloved by McMains. McMains comes up the near side wall out the center. And Fish will go to Brandish. Brandish, far side of the ice, tries to dump it in. Noble gloves it inside the Eagle zone, gives to Murray. Murray carries it in over the line, leaves for McMains, turned it over, got it back, sent it back into the zone, and here comes the speed of Franklin Pierce. In, check, nice job by the Eagles there as White used some speed. McMains gets to the red line, tried to dump it in, goes off a leg, bounces up in the air back into the Eagle zone. It's Kennedy. Kennedy turned it over just outside the blue line, so that's the break for the Eagles, and then Kennedy gets it back. Kennedy gets to the red line, dumps it high in the air, stopped by Mastowski. He'll glove, so a field position play there with 6:52 to go in the third. Face off to Mastowski's right, 2-2 here at the Sports Center of Connecticut.
Yeah, I don't think I remember a game in recent history where the puck has just been bouncing off players as much as it has tonight.
Santoro on the draw here with Fret. Fret wins that draw behind him, tried to chip it up the half wall, kept in the zone. Noble with a shot toward the net, deflected in front. Swain trying to find it. It laid there for a moment, and now Franklin Pierce retains possession, and out they come. Paravolis couldn't control it, ended up having to dump it in, and Montague will pick it up behind the net, being chased by Fret. Eagles with some speed. It's Scotty Swain up on left wing. He's in over the line. Swain looking to center it to Santoro. He did, but couldn't control it. Now Gazzardi tried to chop it behind the net, and Franklin Pierce coming up with it. Stick by Foster, giving the Parabolotis with a shot that Ben Cooney made a big left pad save on. As Thomas Parabolotis, the sophomore out of Littleton, Mass., found a loose puck and took a shot. Ben almost moved a little too far right, but got that left pad back in there with 6:12 to go in the third. Eagles want to be careful about going end-to-end with Franklin Pierce. That's not the game that's been successful for them today.
No, puck possession and attack, and work the walls like they've been doing.
So this is the confusing thing on the faceoffs. Why is he tossed this time and then other guys are told to get put back in there? I understand the rule on the icing, but that wasn't an icing. Long shot from the point, bouncing in as the Eagles try to find control, and finally Howell does with a nice little pass to Kimball. Kimball, 1-on-3, makes a fancy move, comes out the other side, backhand toward the net, right on, stopped by Mostowski. Eagles regain control. McDevitt comes out with it, tries to get a shot on. That's blocked. And now back comes the other way. It's Ursillo. Ursillo made a weird left-hand veer as he had space on the right side. Instead, he skated into two Eagles. McDevitt comes up with it behind the net, gives to Kennedy. Weird path taken by Ursillo. He had a lot of space on the right. Instead, went left where all the Eagles were. Kimball picks it up on the near side. Puck bounces up in the air. Ursillo trying to chip it out. Eagles fighting for it on the half wall and finally gets squirted out the center and picked up by Paganini. Paganini carries it in over the line, had it chopped off his stick. McDevitt tried to chop him, didn't get it. Brandish picks it up on the far side. Centered in front of Paganini. Closing in. Big stop by Kunin there. Good setup. The Eagles can't get it out, though. Long shot from the point. Wide rebound in front. Wide open net. He missed. He missed a wide open net, did Nick Fish.
He is going to want that one back for sure.
A yawning Cage on a shot taken from the point that went behind the net, bounced back out to the near side, right on the side of the crease. Nick Fish had all day, all night, and a wide open Cage, and he missed. Huge break for the Eagles with 5:06 to go in regulation time. And the Eagles are going to take a timeout with 5:06 to go in the third. Interesting.
Some of that might be, too, to give Ben a minute or two here because he really reached awkwardly over.
Yes, he did.
To that post with that left leg.
You'd love to say Ben made the save. He didn't, and Fish just missed. So he'll see that one in his dreams, especially if Franklin Pierce doesn't win this game. Franklin Pierce has all the momentum and all the pressure, and this is we've talked about this. This happened a couple of times. The St. Mike's game a couple weeks ago as well. Eagles had a 2-0 lead, and St. Mike scored 2 in the final 5 to tie the game and earn themselves a point. See if Ben is okay. First of all, he's coming back out. He's a gamer for sure.
Right. Well, in general, I mean, winning is hard. What is in post favor is so far they do have a better record at home than they do on the road. So they got that going for them.
Santoro lost the draw. Back to the point to McGuire. McGuire looking for pick. Went too far. Eagles control Kennedy. Tries to make a pass to Santoro, who ends up picking up in the Zamboni corner. He can't control the puck, but still in his own zone. Santoro goes back to Kennedy, and finally the Eagles get it out. Nice return pass to Santoro. Over the line, cruising in Gazzardi, looking for Santoro. Santoro then tries to center it as he found it behind the net. Paganini rips it up the wall and all the way down. This should be an icing, and it will be. So the Eagles recover. The timeout, good one taken by Coach Richter. Let everybody breathe for a minute. He's able to get his top unit out there and get a face-off deep inside the Raven zone with 4:35 to go in regulation time.
Yeah, and again, you get 4.5 minutes left in the game. It's really less worrying about what Pierce is going to do and more emphasis on what you can and will do.
Timeout, Franklin Pierce. Well, you don't see two timeouts within 30 seconds of each other with 5 minutes to go in regulation very often, but we have that here.
Yeah, and again, he may be,
I think Coach Foley may have seen his top unit be very tired, and they're stuck out there right now.
Yep, he might just be giving them a rest.
Doesn't allow him to play his top unit later on. But we stand 2-2 here. Third period goal is Paganini's, his 12th of the year. from McGuire and Fish at 8:56 on the power play.
And this is where there's a little bit of that chess match as coaches as well, right? 4.5 minutes left. You want to get your best players out there. And that might be 6 forwards, it might be 7 forwards, it might be 5, 3D, whatever it needs to be. 4.5 minutes left. Your best players have to get out there and be your best players.
Again, a big 9 points on the board here for the Eagles with 3 today and 6 this weekend. Murray, Pekka, McQuegan, Pacheco, and Noble out for the Eagles. The top line out for the Ravens, and Paganini, Fish, and Pick. Murray did not win that draw. Fish did. He gives it to Christensen, who sends it all the way down the ice wide of Kunin, but that's not going to be able to be an icing because the race was won by Sterling all the way down the ice. Pacheco tries to hit Sterling, misses, hits the wall, had the puck for a moment, turned it over. Puck sent back to the point to Sterling. Sterling fumbled it, popped up in the air. It's a good job by Pekka to get on him, and now Murray tries to get it out of the zone. He finds McQuegan. 2-on-2. McQuegan and Pekka gets to the line, over the line. McQuegan with a shot toward the net. It goes wide. Puck scrambles into the slot. Murray trying to chase after it. Almost a turnover. Brandish trying to get it out, and they did turn it over. Pekka right at the blue line, kept it into O'Connell. O'Connell with speed, closing in. Had an opportunity, but slid off the stick on the stick check by McGuire. O'Connell picked it up behind the net, spins away from McGuire, tried to center it out in front, gives it to Pekka instead. Finally taken by Brandish, and he'll carry it out of the zone. 3:40 to go in regulation time, 2-2. Brandish gets to the red line, dumps it in around the boards from near to far. Hope, little chip pass, but turned it over. Here's Pick. Pick leaves it for Foster, takes a shot that gets deflected high in the air. Meyer comes out to get it, pins it on the half wall. Eagles trying to get it out, can't do it. Pick, long shot from the point, deflects off Hope, behind the net. Norling on this side spins away from a check. Now being watched by 2 Ravens trying to get it out. Right in front of us here in the broadcast center. 4 players, now a 5th comes over, that's McCowell, fighting for that puck on the half wall. Puck squirts down right into the slot area where Pick feeds it over. Long shot deflected through some legs. Eagles have to be careful here. And puck sent back to the point. Long shot towards the net. They score! That's a beautiful tip by Austin Pick. And with 2:55 remaining in regulation time, the Ravens take a 3-2 lead. We talked about it all day that the Eagles are winning the board battles using their size. Well, there's one they lost. Went back to the point, shot taken, and Pick with a beautiful tip. It's amazing he only has 5 goals now. 2 in this game, mind you, but 5 goals with those kind of moves between the backhand and that tip. And it's 3-2.
Yeah, and the last 2 goals were actually off really high-quality tip, really good eye-hand coordination. The skill of Franklin Pierce really took control on that one.
Ravens goal scored by number 8, Austin Pick. Assisted by number 6, Ian Crowley. And number 9, Giovanni Escobar. Time to go, 17:05.
So Pick is 2nd of the game, 5th of the season, assisted by Orsillo at 17:05. So now the Eagles, who had a 2-0 lead in the first period, trail for the first time today. That's a hand pass.
Yeah. Good eye by the official
at
there.
Center. Face-off will come deep into the Ravens zone. The Eagles have not made Mostowski work a lot here in the third period. 37 shots through 2. I would gather somewhere between 5 and 6 in the third.
No, it's a critical face-off, too.
No timeouts led either for the Eagles, so we'll see how long until Ben gets pulled. Eagles trailing by 1, Santoro and Sterling on the draw. Another draw lost by the Eagles. It's almost as if the ice has been completely tilted in the third period. Eagles dominated in the stats through 2, but now not in shots and not in faceoffs here in the third. Sterling gets to the red line, dumps it in. Nope, they're going to say he didn't get to the red line, and he didn't dump it in. But Kunin also came out of the blue paint. So the faceoff will be at center.
Ice, yep. I think that's what that was, right? I think, again, we saw one official calling it and the other official saying, nope, goaltender stepped out. We got to make the draw at center ice.
I also think the call from the one linesman was late on the icing, which made Ben come out because, so a little bit of Hey, listen, face-off at center is a face-off at center, but at the same time,
Right.
Eagles could have used one deep in the Ravens zone.
Yep.
Eagles lose another draw. It'll really be interesting to see how these third period stats play out. Swain looking for Santoro too far, but he's going to win the race down back behind the net. He picked it up there. Santoro. Eagles really need some skill here from Santoro and Swain. There goes Cuneen to the bench. Eagles 6 attackers. Swain looking to get it to Kennedy. He goes D to D. Kimball, who's not a D but is playing that position, gives it to Gazzardi. Gazzardi behind the net looking for Swain. McMain's out there as well. Swain on his backside. McMain's fighting for it. Now the Eagles looking for that puck in the near side corner. 5 players fighting for it now out of 6. Kimball trying to come away with it. Gives it to Santoro. One-timer by Kennedy right into the body of Foster, and he'll send it out to center. And all the way down. That's going to not get to the goal line with 85 seconds to go in regulation time. Santoro gives to Gazzardi. Gazzardi spins away with it, carries it in over the line, looking for Swain. Swain tried to go back to Gazzardi. Puck popped into the slot. Santoro tried to get it, and it sticked all the way down the ice. Kennedy, chased by Paganini, leaves it for McMains, but McMains pinned to the wall by Pick, who's got 2 in this game. McMains turned it over. Puck goes back to center and all the way down. This will give McQuegan an opportunity to chase down Tisdale. McQuegan gets to the puck, though. McQuegan behind his own net looking for Murray. Murray centered it out in front. He had, I believe that was McMains, and then the puck sent all the way down the ice high and wide. That'll be an icing with 45 seconds to go in the third. Faceoff will come to the left of Mastowski. No timeouts left for either team.
Post can use this to their advantage there because just a little touch there and that clock is still running instead of a draw in your own zone.
Eagles lose another faceoff, but the puck at the bottom of the crease. Murray tries to spin away with it, can't get it, and it goes out the center. Norling has to wait as the Eagles have to tag up. Norling just keeping it at center with 34 to go. Eagles trying to find a way to get that puck back in the zone. They do. Turn it over. Spins away Fish. Fish looking long shot down the ice. Finds an open man. Breakaway for Paganini, and he scores with 22.7 to go in the third. And the Eagles, who had this game in control for 40 minutes, now trail 4-2. Paganini second of the game, second of the period. And Eagles trail 4-2. Fish will get one of those assists. We'll double check the second assist. All of this at 19:37. Hope inside his own zone. Kennedy loses it. Puck sent back to center with 10. And that'll do it here at the Sports Center of Connecticut as the Eagles fall 4-2, a 3-goal third period for Franklin Pierce. And again, we talked about it a few times, Coach, before we get to the 3 stars. Eagles really, on the stat sheet, dominated the first 2 periods. The third period, as I'm going to look up those stats, probably not going to be very good. See if we can get those for everybody while we wait here. (13-6) on the faceoffs, which after the Eagles led 27-10 overall, so 13-6 in the third. Shots on goal say 12-9, but it surely didn't feel 12-9. In favor of Franklin Pierce, by the way. So 3-period total of 27 for Franklin Pierce. For the Eagles, a 3-period total of 46. But they fall 4-2 on a 3-goal third period by Franklin Pierce. So they'll have a snowy 4-hour-plus bus ride back to New Hampshire and 3 points in their back pocket. And now they take over the NE10 lead in points in first place with Assumption's loss today, Coach. The 3 stars brought to you by Post University. For more information on post-degree programs, to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Coach, your 3 stars.
Okay, my third star with 2 goals. The first goal that kind of got it going for Franklin Pierce, and then the third goal, which ended up being the game winner, with just great hands, great eye-hand coordination. Did a lot of really good things as Austin Pick with 2 goals and 1 assist, Mario Paganini, and then first start and well-deserved, just giving his team every single opportunity to win the game, making many, many saves, was Riley Mostowski. Gets my first star.
Yeah,
I give an honorable mention to Scotty Swain for post, coming back into it after being away for a while, and just really putting it all out there and making some great plays too.
Yeah, I'll give my honorable mention to Ben Cunine as well, who, needless to say, kept them in the game. It took 2 ridiculous tips and a backhand that is Division I quality by Austin Pick to score on Ben today. Mostowski gets 43 saves in the win. I would say on Mostowski, and again, deserves a 3rd star, didn't have a ton of hard saves to make outside that first period. Eagles controlled a lot of the play, but not a lot of odd man opportunities.
No, if you look at quality shots, like those saves that Ben made in that first period,
yep,
like to your point, were outstanding. Those were grade A opportunities and grade A saves that he was able to make. And it's funny because you almost now you expect him to be making those saves, which is a compliment to him, because that's a measure, that's a level, that's a standard that he has set for himself. And he's that kind of player, will hold himself, regardless of how the games end up, he holds himself to that kind of a standard. And, deservedly so. And, again, Poach just needs to find a way to get over that hump. In this league, you look at so many of the scores over the weekend, during the week games, there's many that are 3, 4, 5, 6 goals scored by teams. So you have to compete in this league, you have to find a way to get over that hump of around 2 goals a game.
Plus, it's something to take a look at. Again, 6 big points coming up this weekend against Southern New Hampshire available. But let's look at the last 3 games, and I think if we go back 4 out of the last 5, Eagles have had opened the scoring in 4 of the last 5. They actually opened the scoring in all 5. But in 4 of the last 5, they've blown leads. The game against St. Mike's, that ended up 2-2. They were up 2-0. Game on Saturday, they were up 1-0. Game on Sunday, they were up 1-0. And today, they were up 2-0. Not only do you have to worry about third period leads, you have to worry about sort of tacking on, as you just mentioned, to the fact that you've opened the scoring, you take control, and then third period seem to not go the right way.
Well, that's what I say. And really as important as that third period is, when you have those 2 goals, right, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you don't get one in that second period, again, against a team like Franklin Pierce, you just can't leave the door open. And then honestly taking a couple of untimely penalties, those were the difference makers, because that is a very good, a very skilled team on that other side of the ice.
That's the story here this evening from the Sports Center of Connecticut. The Eagles fall 4-2 to Franklin Pierce. Franklin Pierce picking up their 6th win of the season, 5th in the NE10, and now in first place with 15 points. The Eagles fall to 2-6-1 on the season, 1-4-1 in the NE10. 2 big games this weekend for Post at Southern New Hampshire on Friday and Saturday. That'll wrap up the fall season. For Coach and I, that wraps up the fall home season. We'll be back on January 6th, a 1 o'clock start here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. The Eagles will pick up the winter home season with 3 straight home games to start the winter portion of the season. Coach, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that fun stuff.
Yes, it's early. It seems like it's really early to say that, but Merry Christmas to you and everyone else, and happy holidays as well. And be safe, be happy, hug your family.
Thank you to everybody who helps out, our engineering team, our directors, our staff. Mike Vesey and his staff do a great job. Never get enough credit from everybody for all the work that they do. You can follow him on LinkedIn as well. Follow me on LinkedIn. Coach, not sure if you're on LinkedIn, but follow him if he's there as well.
I'm there.
You're there.
I'm just hanging around.
That's the story. Final score, Franklin Pierce 4, Post University 2. We'll see you on January 6th for the next home game, 1 o'clock, 12:45 pregame on the Post University Sports Network. For Coach Pete Whitney, I'm Jeff Nelson. Have a good evening, everybody.